everybody, welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back with an interesting video. Today's video was a request to give my thoughts on the upcoming Bantamweight Women's Championship title fight in the UFC between the champion Ronda Rousey and the number 9 contender Holly Holm. Now, Ronda Rousey, before I talk too much about her, I need to go back to her mother. Okay? We need to go back in history a little bit, and we need to look at Ronda Rousey's mother. She was the first American to ever win the world championships in judo. And that is a significant accomplishment just for an American to do that. Now, she took it a step further when she did it as a woman. That is an elite accomplishment. Now, that is something that, to do something like that, you don't need to be a person to just practice judo, and just judo is something that you do. For you to achieve a world championship, it's something you have to live that. You have to be judo, not just do it. So, in my opinion, Ronda Rousey's mother is not just judo. To her is not just something she does, it's something that she's become. Now, the reason I'm talking about that is because I think that Ronda Rousey, being her daughter, was brought up the same way. And what I mean by that is brought up living judo. So Ronda, in 2008, because of her elite level of judo, because she lives it, instead of doing it, she lives it. So in 2008, she went to Beijing, I believe it was, and fought in the Olympics in judo and placed a bronze medal in judo. When she came back from the Olympics, all the hard work and all the sacrifice and all the commitment and everything that she did to put into this thing called judo could not translate into job opportunities. So she had to find something that she can take this skill, this talent that she's so good at, and how can I take all this stuff that I've worked so hard in and find it and make it a job opportunity? Well, when she found the UFC, she did exactly that. She was able to take all of her acclimates, all of her accomplishments in judo, and turn that into a career opportunity. The UFC has been her home. She's made a ton of money. She is a dominant champion. She fights elite athletes and makes it look like they don't even know what they're doing in there with her. She's one of these people that finishes fights. She don't just go in there and win a fight. She goes in there and dominates high-level people. In my lifetime, there's not a lot of people that come along that you look at that are just above and beyond, and Ronda Rousey is one of those people. She's not someone that just comes along once in a while. She's someone that comes along once in a lifetime. She's an amazing athlete. And you guys are probably going to say I'm crazy by saying this or by making this statement, but in my eyes, Ronda Rousey is like a modern day Bruce Lee. She's elite. She finishes fights. She goes in there and she's just, the last 3 or 4 title fights that she had, she finished them in under 30 seconds, each one. You know, I think the last one was like 14 seconds. I mean, it just blows me away. Now, does that mean she's going to beat Holly Holm on Saturday, tomorrow night? I don't know. All the accolades that Ronda has done in judo, Holly has done in boxing. Holly is a 19-time world champion in boxing. She's 9-0 in the UFC in mixed martial arts fighting. Ronda's 12-0. Both people are undefeated into this title fight. Today is November 13th. Yesterday, obviously, November 12th. Yesterday marked the 22nd anniversary of the Ultimate Fighting Championships. November 12th, 1993, UFC 1, Royce Gracie. Man, so what am I talking about? The UFC, why does that have to come? Because this is the title fight. This is going to be done in Australia. And to this date, in the 22-year history of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, this will be the largest venue they've ever had in the history of the UFC. They have a stadium with over 72,000 people going to be there for this fight. This is a significant event that's going to happen tomorrow night. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. So, let me weigh in on my thoughts on the fight. Who's going to win the fight? That's what you guys are waiting for me to tell you, right? I think Holly Holm's going to win the fight. She's a huge underdog. But I think she's going to make history. I think we're going to have a new champion. Now, you're probably wondering, how are we going to do this? How is Holly going to do this? First thing, Holly comes from Greg Jackson and Winklejohn. That team is elite at figuring out problems. Now, when you have a fighter here and a fighter here, whoever dominates the other fighter wins that fight because they were able to figure out the problem. Fighting is a game. It's got rules and it's got loopholes and it's got all these avenues in which you can win. You could be dominant fighter like Ronda Rousey and just kill everybody and smash everybody. Or you could be someone strategic like Floyd Mayweather was against Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao went in there like Ronda Rousey and tried to fight Floyd Mayweather. And I give a lot of respect for Manny for that, because I think in the end he was the true fighter. I have a lot more respect for him than I do for Floyd. But the point that I'm trying to make is fighting is a game. When you fight with referees and judges, it is a game. And how do you win the game? By scoring points. That's what Floyd Mayweather did, right? Against Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao went in there to fight. Floyd Mayweather went in there to play a game. And he won the game. He was very strategic, very cerebral in his approach. Now, Greg Jackson, years ago, before he was famous, I used to compete with a lot of his students. And they call him the nickname Yoda. Now, I don't know if Greg likes that name or not, but the reason they used to call him Yoda was because he's so good at looking at an opponent and figuring out the chink in their armor, how to defeat them. So they called him Yoda. So now, John Jones was in Greg Jackson's corner. He was the champion, the light heavyweight champion for a long time. Now Holly Holmes is there. You got Donald Cerrone, you got, just the list goes on and on. Carlos Condit, Diego Sanchez, you got John Dotson. Just all these phenomenal athletes that are under Greg Jackson's tutelage. It's a great camp. I think they're going to have a very strategic plan for Holly Holm to take into this fight with Ronda Rousey, because Ronda Rousey is an elite level fighter. You can't take some regular B fighter and expect them to beat Ronda Rousey. It's going to take a significant game playing effort to beat her. Now, if this fight goes to the ground, okay, if Ronda can get this fight to the ground, I don't think Holly Holm's excellent jiu-jitsu skill is going to be enough to match Ronda Rousey's elite judo skill. And on the flip side of the coin, if Ronda Rousey thinks that she's going to stand up and trade with Holly Holm, with her, and Ronda's got excellent striking ability, it's not going to match Holly's elite striking ability. So what's the keys to success for this fight? If Ronda Rousey wants to win this fight, I believe that she must go to the clinch, she must get the takedown, and she must go to the ground. And I think she'll find a submission. Is that going to happen? In my opinion, no. It's not going to happen. In my opinion, Holly Holm, her keys to victory, she must stay on her feet. And if she gets taken down, she must get her back against the cage, wall walk herself up to get back to her feet so that she can maintain the distance in the fight and land strikes. The strikes, I don't think, need to be significant. Again, remember folks, it's a human game of chess. It's a numbers game. So if Holly's just tapping her like Floyd Mayweather was tapping Manny Pacquiao, I think at the end they're going to count all these strikes just like they do in boxing. Holly Holm can win that fight that way. I think she's going to have to use her excellent footwork. She's going to have to really maintain that distance, good head movement. She's going to have to throw those oblique kicks to the body, spinning back kicks and things like that. She cannot afford to try to out-wrestle or out-judo Ronda. She's going to have to play her game, her strengths, and take Ronda into the deep water, into the later rounds, because Ronda's never been there before. And I'm not saying she can't go there. I'm just saying nobody's ever tested her that far. The longest fight that she ever had, I believe, that Ronda had was with Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate, in their second fight, I think they went into the third round. So Ronda was tested. I think for this fight, for Holly to implement her game plan, I think she needs to take this into the championship rounds. Round 4, round 5. This is a 5-round fight. 5-minute rounds. Now, there's an old saying in boxing. If you want to beat a boxer, you brawl the boxer. If you want to beat a brawler, you box the brawler. Now, the big question is Ronda going to be able to brawl the boxer of Holly Holm? I don't know. Holly, in my opinion, can definitely box the brawler, because I think Ronda's kind of a brawler. So I think Holly Holm's going to win the fight. I think it's going to be a huge upset or a shock, because I think Ronda's been so dominant and she's such a champion. They're both amazing people. I love them both. But I think Holly is going to win this fight. I just got a gut feeling in my heart that she's going to do it. I could be right and I could be wrong. Who knows? We're going to find out tomorrow night. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. 72,000 people filling this arena. We have never seen a venue that large ever in the 22-year history of the Ultimate Fighting Championships. Another thing to go into to put into this thought before I run out of time here. Ronda Rousey, her coach Edmund, her trainer Edmund, right? Recently, Edmund and Ronda Rousey's mother, they've been butting heads. Ronda Rousey's mother went on the record and said that this guy is a piece of trash, blah, blah, blah. If I could run him over with my car and not go to jail, I would. So there's some drama floating around in the Ronda Rousey camp. Now, I believe Edmund is still showing up for this fight. He's going to do his job and he's going to train her and all this stuff. But with that little twist of Ronda's mom and Edmund having some problems, I don't know, it could play against her psychologically. Now, Ronda's been the type of person that at the weigh-ins, she gets into her opponent's heads and things like that. I don't think she's going to get into Holly's head. I don't think the psychological warfare is going to work with Holly Holmes. So anyway, I want to say thanks for watching. Please feel free to like this video, share this video, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, check out my Facebook page. Let's check out the weigh-ins tonight on YouTube. They'll be on YouTube. And then the fight is tomorrow. 72,000 people, folks. This is going to be history. Thanks for watching. Bye.